Welcome to Fight Club 24/7. My name's Johnny Rashman. Well, let's get straight into it. Gervonta Davis stops Ryan Garcia in round 7. Right. I'm not going to say I told you so. I will actually. I told you so. I told you all. I was very convinced what was going to happen in this fight. I didn't buy into the hype. I looked at both fighters' boxing fundamentals and attributes and what's been happening in their careers. And it was very evident to me that Tank Davis is the better fighter. He's got the better fundamentals. And Garcia just didn't have enough preparation going into this fight. I said it pre-fight. Not enough was made. That he's only had 2 fights with Joe Goosen, right? And the caliber of fighters he's fought since having that year out from the ring, Togo and Fortuna, is just not enough preparation to fight one of the best fighters in the world, right? But as I always said before the fight, you've got to give Garcia tremendous credit. He took the fight. He dared to be great, right? He gave in to the demand. He wanted to test himself. Fair play. That's what you've got to say, fair play. But let me tell you something, right? One of the things that a lot of people aren't bringing up is the performance from Gervonta Davis. It was absolutely masterful. What a performance, just stunning. Now, listen, when you're watching the fight, we're all in and you listen to the commentary and your emotions are there. What I like to do is watch it again the day after, turn the sound off so there's no commentary and just watch the fight and you get a different perspective. Everything Tank Davis did, there was a reason for. He didn't throw a shot unless he knew he was going to connect. It was so methodical, his performance, the way he was moving laterally, the way he was targeting the body, the way he took Garcia's jab. Everything was done for a reason. He methodically, surgically broke Ryan Garcia down. It was a stunning performance, absolutely stunning. It was high level, absolutely high level, right? If you watch the first few rounds, he didn't want to fight in close, right? He was holding him. And he didn't want to fight mid-range. He was fighting at a distance, right? Because as I said before the fight, he had to work out Ryan Garcia. He had to time that speed. He had to get used to that speed. And granted, I did think it'd take a few more rounds for him to get used to Ryan Garcia's speed. But you could see after the second round, he had it like that. You could see it in his face. The first round, he was working him out. You know, he was taking a few shots or whatever. But then the second round, you could see it in his face. He just knew he had that speed down to a T. He had it timed to a T. It was absolutely sensational. I can't tell you, right? It was unbelievable. If you watch it again, I'm telling you, take the sound off and you can see the way he was moving side to side. Someone like Ryan Garcia has to have his feet planted to generate the speed and the power. And by moving side to side, you're always offsetting Garcia. He was constantly offsetting left, right, constantly. So Garcia just couldn't get his feet planted. The way he was blocking that left hand, right? Okay, some got through, but if you watch the knockdown, he overextended with the left hand. Ryan Garcia slipped Gervonta and bang, came in with his own left hand. And he just didn't waste any punches. He just wasn't throwing punches for the sake of it. He was constantly feinting. He was pouring with the jab. He was going low. He was going high. Ryan Garcia had no answer. Had absolutely no answer because I said it before, timing beats speed, right? When someone times you and they can time you to perfection, you're not in a good place in the boxing ring. And when he got knocked down, Garcia, you can see he didn't want to commit anymore. He knew he was in trouble because the more he committed, the more a master counterpuncher like Tank Davis is going to make him pay. And he did make him pay. He just didn't waste his shots. Every shot was thrown with bad intentions, right? And the body shot that finished him, it wasn't just a case of one body shot. He was being broken down to the body. If you look at the previous rounds before the stoppage, he was going to the body. That straight left, bang, straight down. That stab jab that Floyd Mayweather uses. But he was really upping it, going to the body in the last few rounds. And then that body shot took the wind out of his sails. But it was a masterful performance from Gervonta Davis. And I just can't believe the so-called experts and people I respect in the game were picking Ryan Garcia to win. You know, I just couldn't believe it. This really wasn't a hard fight to predict. It wasn't. I'll be honest with you, I don't like to listen to other fighters breaking down fights, right? I'll listen to some, but I don't like to listen to it all because sometimes it can sway your mind. You're thinking, well, hold on, a world champion saying that. Am I right? Am I not right? So I've managed, the last few years I've understood that, right? Because I trust my own instinct. I understand the game. I've got a very good eye for boxing. I've said this before. I've watched it for over 25 years. I've been around fighters. I've been around gyms. I've watched many sparring sessions. I speak to trainers, matchmakers. I have good conversations with them. Right? I have a good eye for boxing. And that's why when I give my opinion, it's not biased. It's not disrespectful. I say it with conviction because that's what I believe is going to happen. Now, I can't get it right all the time. There's going to be times where I get it wrong, right? And I'm sure you'll hammer me for it, right? But I like to think I'm a bit different with my predictions. I don't just say, yeah, he might win or he might not win. I say it with conviction. I told you I literally described what's going to happen. I said he's going to get greedy, Ryan Garcia. He's going to come out, he's going to land a few shots, right? But he'll get greedy, he'll get overconfident, and he'll overextend, he'll overcommit, and then he'll get caught. He'll leave his feet there. He'll hold his feet. And what that means is he will stand there with his feet and not get back. Right, so you can be in and out, so you can land your combinations and come out. When you're getting greedy, you might land a left hook, right hook. You might land a double jab right hand, or a right hand, left hook, right hand, and then you're staying there rather than going back because you've had a bit of success. And Davis just had it timed. You could just see he worked it out. He worked it out from that first round. He worked Ryan Garcia out. He knew it was only a matter of time before he timed him and stopped him. Right, and I wasn't shocked. That's what I thought was going to happen. I told you all pre-fight. That's what I thought was going to happen. Gervonta Davis, I'm still hearing people say, oh, he might not beat Devin Haney in this one. Let me tell you something. He's one of the best fighters in the world. I'm telling you, he's from that Floyd Mayweather mold, right? They don't lose. They have that superhuman mentality. They don't lose. They win. The winners. Right? So don't tell me Gervonta Davis can't beat Devin Haney or can't beat Shakur Stevenson. Now, yes, they're phenomenal fights. They're great fights. And there's a chance he could get beat. But he could win those fights. He's that good. He's just unbelievable. You can see glimpses of Floyd in him. But the difference is he's got that bang. He has got that death shot that will turn your lights out. And he's a southpaw. People gloss over that fact. He's a dangerous motherfucker. I'm telling you, he's going to be hard to beat. He's so smart. The only thing that will beat Tank Davis is size and weight because he is small. He's going to find it hard if he's fighting a slick, world-class welterweight. Do you know what I mean? He's going to be a lot smaller. And the way he can fight at distance and just creep into space. Do you know what the sign of a good fighter is? Right, the sign of a masterful world-class boxer is they time things so well. It's just inches, whether they can just slide out of distance, come back in. As I said before, the first round or the first few rounds, he wasn't going in close with Ryan Garcia. He was working him out. Every time he was in close, he was holding him, right? And he wasn't fighting the mid-range game where Garcia is comfortable there and he can let his shots go. He was either out of distance, right, or in distance, tying you up. So Garcia just didn't know what to do. And then when it went to the third, fourth, fifth round, he was holding his feet, Gervonta. He was playing that inside game. He was playing the mid-range game because he knew Garcia had nothing to trouble him. He just broke him down round by round. It was just such a masterful performance. It's not about how good Ryan Garcia is or how bad he is, right? It's how good Gervonta was. I'm telling you, Garcia would have beat many fighters with that performance. I'm telling you, right? His performance wasn't that bad. I saw improvements, but Gervonta was that good. Trust me, he was that good. It was stunning. It was absolutely stunning, the performance. Absolutely stunning. And you've got to say he's one of the best fighters in the world. He's just an incredible fighter. People saying Ryan Garcia quit and all that. I don't understand what you mean. The guy, right, took a left hand that should have sent him to hell from a power punching southpaw. He got up, walked straight towards Tank and traded with him. That is not someone who's quit, right? The body shots, sometimes it's not how powerful it is, it's the placement. And that just took the wind out of his sails. It's easy for us to say, get up. You're not the one facing a murderous puncher, right? He got up from the knockdown. If he wanted to quit, he wouldn't have got up from that. Right? Ryan Garcia's got balls, he's got heart. I don't think his stock's gone down, his stock's gone up. We want to see these fights. We want, so what? He's not going to win every fight. But every fight he's in, he's going to be exciting. He's box office. I love his style. He's got that charisma. He is box office. Garcia is a dangerous fighter. He can beat many fighters. Okay, he might not be an undisputed champion. He might not be a pound-for-pound fighter. So what? So what? I just don't understand the hammering the bloke is getting. He fought the best fighter in the world. We want to see that. If you regularly fight the best fighters in the world, there's a good chance you'll get beat. Right? That's it. That's the reality of the situation. So we want to see these fights. Right? We can't condemn people because they've had a loss. It's just fucking ridiculous. The major problem in getting these big fights over the line isn't just the fans hammering fighters if they lose. It's the promoters and broadcasters. It has to come from them. Don't come on my TV screen saying the fighters have to fight the best and we want to see the best versus the best, yet you're underpaying a fighter if they lose or you're not picking up the phone. It has to come from the promoters and the broadcasters. It's not from the fans. It's from the promoters and broadcasters. They have to prove that a loss won't define you, that a loss won't make a big impact in your pay packet, right? You are going to pick the phone. You are going to treat the fighter post-fight as you did pre-fight. So don't tell me you want things to change when a fighter loses and, by the way, you're not picking up the phone. Oscar De La Hoya and Bernard Hopkins, who I love, by the way, where the fuck were they after the fight? Where were they? They were giving it the big one before the fight. They were Team Garcia then. He got beat. Where were they? Where were they? The silence was deafening. Such poor form from Hopkins. I love Hopkins. He's a god to me. He's a legend, right? But it was poor. You back your man. If you're doing it pre-fight, you have the balls to do it post-fight, right? Don't go hiding. Don't go missing. Where's Oscar De La Hoya? Where are you, mate? Because let me tell you something. If Garcia would have knocked Tank out, you would have been here, there and everywhere telling everyone how great you are. Where were you? Very poor form. Right, you back your man. You don't let him have an interview by himself. You don't let him deal with it by himself. You're meant to be part of the team. Where was the bloody trainer after the fight? Where was he? Joe Goosen. Didn't like it. But poor form from all involved. Just poor form. And I've got a lot of respect for Ryan Garcia. Just because I said pre-fight he was going to lose didn't make me not respect him. I said it before, you got respect him for taking this fight. And ultimately, he came up short against one of the best fighters in the world. Gervonta Davis is that good. I'm telling you, he is that good. Right, let me know what you think. Was Gervonta Davis that good? Was it a case of Ryan Garcia not showing up? What do you think of the fight? Like, comment, subscribe, let me know.